Have you ever felt financially trapped by a system that was, fundamentally not built for you?
hmm
We are diving into a stack of source material today that completely reframes that narrative.
It really does.
It shows that living on disability benefits does not mean your financial story is finished. We're looking at sources that take these highly ambitious mainstream financial frameworks.
Things like Dave Ramsey's 7 baby steps.
Exactly. And they show precisely how to adapt them to the complex reality of navigating chronic illness and, well, all that bureaucratic red tape.
And the urgency for this conversation is, it's immense, especially in the Canadian context that our sources focus on. The statistics they're pretty alarming.
They really are.
Canada overall gets what the sources call a dismal degrade on ending disability poverty.
Degrade. That's, yeah.
And if you're listening to this, you really need to know that the poverty rate for people with disabilities is currently twice as high as for those without.
Twice as high. I was just stunned by that when I was reading the material. The statistics really underline how profoundly the deck is stacked against any kind of financial progress.
Right.
I mean, people with disabilities need, on average, 30% more income just to hit the poverty line. That's before you even start thinking about building wealth.
It shows the fight isn't just against poverty.
No, it's against an economically crippling system.
Exactly. And that's why this source material feels so, revolutionary. It comes from a really detailed conversation between a disabled wealth advocate, Minnie St,
Right.
and a truly ambitious Black Canadian accounting student named Abigail.
And Minnie's personal mission is just massive. She wants to become a disabled net worth millionaire.
Yeah, using these adapted financial structures, like you said, the baby steps, Donald Miller's 5 bank account system, to prove that wealth building is actually an achievable reality.
So what Minnie and Abigail are really trying to prove here is that financial empowerment, living a life of true freedom, it's achievable through professional ambition and financial literacy.
Even while you're navigating the benefit system. It's this targeted effort.
Hello, and welcome to the Mini on Cam fam community on the Saturday live stream of Disabled Wealthy right here on the Mini on Cam YouTube channel. Now, I'm still having muscle spasms, but I'm your host, Minnie St, and I'm so happy you're here with us today. I have a question for you. Have you ever felt trapped by a financial system that wasn't built for you? So many of us are told that living on disability benefits means our financial story is already written, but what if that's not true? What if there's a way to take back your power, your dignity, autonomy, agency, building wealth? And yes, that all those things are true. Today I'm showing you the blueprint. We're combining the Dave Ramsey 7 baby steps to net worth millionaire with the Donna Miller's 5 business bank accounts to manage revenue while also navigating the Ontario Disability Support Program. The destination is simple: to have income and assets exceed the limits of the Ontario Disability Support Program and keep going until we hit a net worth of $1 million. It's a math equation: income plus assets minus debts equals $1 million. This isn't about whether or not $1 million is enough. It's about having $1 million and finally being able to tell the disability social assistance system to shove it up their bumhole. So when I first made that intro, I laughed so hard, my face turned red because of the whole journey I'm on with everything going on. It's, my hands and muscle spasms. So like Tuesday, I went to the emergency room and it was the fastest visit of being in the emergency room. And I'm hoping y'all can hear me and the microphone is on and all that. But, yeah, I should make sure before I go into the whole story, because it's just me here and chat, but there's somebody watching in chat. Let me know if you can hear me, because that way I don't have to click my phone to see if I'm live. Commercial. Chat. But there's somebody watching in chat. Okay, good. Audio is on. Okay. So yeah, Tuesday, December 16th, 2 o'clock, basically around this time. I kind of do everything around 2 o'clock. It's just the way my body works. So I go to the emergency room, and specifically for the purpose of, oh, good, great. Specifically for the purpose of getting the muscle relaxer tizanidine. Now, it's spelt Tizanidin. Luckily, the emergency room doctor, he was shy, like he was reserved about it because I'm a patient with multiple sclerosis. So anytime I go into a doctor's office that's not my primary doctor or my primary neurologist, they fall apart. They do. Doctors who are not familiar with chronic illness, multiple sclerosis, they fall apart. It's very, very weird for somebody that took 7 to 8 years in school to become doctor, to treat people medically. Like, I learned it. I live with it. I don't, like, it makes no sense. And I'm not a doctor. Like, I have to learn it. So he read my notes, but he's like, oh, and he read till October 2025. I'm like, fantastic. That's all you need to know. And I need to figure out how to solve the muscle spasms that I've been having since October that literally have my hands deform into a claw. Like, and it's a symptom related to this specific season of a relapse in the multiple sclerosis. Like the whole C2, C3 in my neck, in my spine that controls my arms, neurological central nervous system going on that I can't operate my hands like a normal person. So not neurology. I didn't even see neurology. I heard of neurology in the hallway while they were trying to decide how much to prescribe me the tizanidine, because I already knew what I wanted. I already knew what I needed. I just needed to get it so I could bring it back to my doctor and my neurologist to continue on treatment. Emergency room doctor, he's weird in the sense, he's like, oh, how come you didn't go to your regular hospital with the neurologist that you regularly see? Well, I don't like that emergency room hospital, so I went to a different hospital. And because where I live, we have 6 different emergency room hospitals that are close together. And I specifically went to emergency room hospitals that I already been to before for other issues, which are psychosis, bipolar disorder, depression, multiple sclerosis. My entire healthcare team is in the city I live in, where every hospital visit is about 20 minutes on the subway. So in my mind, it didn't matter where I went as long as they had a neurological department. So, I wish I said that to the doctor, but I didn't have the time. I didn't have the energy. I was already in pain because when I saw my doctor in December, I thought she would prescribe me the tizanidine, the muscle relaxer for the multiple sclerosis that she knows has been an issue since the day she saw me in August, when I thought my hands were numb because my B12 was low. Then we went to the emergency room, and then the emergency room put all my notes to my neurologist, and then my neurologist ordered my MRI to confirm I'm having a relapse, and there's new lesions on top of old lesions in my spine. I don't get how a doctor doesn't understand how easy that is to understand. I don't know. Yeah, I really don't know, because I could say it's pretty easy to understand what was happening. Like, you have a wound in the body, and then you have another wound in the body on top of the other one in the body. That's basically how it works. Right. So now we're December 20th. I'm on my tizanidine. It's not covered by Ontario Disability Support Program. It's about $1.14 a pill. And great. Hold on. I have to go and come back.
Today, we're diving into a really powerful blueprint for disabled entrepreneurs here in Canada. This isn't just about surviving on social assistance. It's a guide to actually building wealth and finding real financial freedom while on it. So let's get right into it. This quote from entrepreneur Camille Deandra Stewart it really hits home. It perfectly captures the heart of the problem we're talking about today. You know, that painful clash between your own drive to build something and a system that sometimes feels like it's designed to stop you in your tracks. So, what exactly is this dilemma? Well, it's a frustrating catch-22, where the very things that make a business successful, ambition, hard work, earning more, are the same things that can get you penalized by the systems meant to be your safety net. To understand this, we're going to follow a journey through programs like the Ontario Disability Support Program, or ODSP. Now, these programs are absolutely essential, but they come with really strict limits on your income and your assets, which, as you can imagine, creates massive roadblocks for any entrepreneur who's trying to grow. Now, to really get a sense of the stakes here, let's look at what it actually feels like to be caught in this trap, because this isn't just theory, this is someone's real life. Okay, so picture this. You've built a profitable business, you've got financial stability, your self-esteem is high. Then November 2008 hits and everything collapses. Suddenly, you have no savings, no sick leave, no safety net at all. That kind of free fall is just devastating, not just for your bank account, but for your sense of self. The only support on the table was a program called Ontario Works, and the maximum monthly payment? $599. I mean, just think about trying to pay rent and buy groceries with that. It was impossible, a recipe for constant stress that led to a terrible spiral of depressive episodes. And this is where the story takes a really shocking turn. After finally getting approved for ODSP, the official advice from a caseworker was to just stop working, to give up the business, abandon all that ambition. And that wasn't just terrible financial advice, it was psychologically crushing. So, when you're faced with a reality like that, how in the world do you break free? Well, it all starts with a huge shift in how you look at the system itself. And this right here is the turning point. It's the moment of realizing that the rules, the fine print that feels like a cage, could actually be learned, mastered, and then used as a powerful tool for your own advocacy and your own strategic growth. The key was hidden deep in the system's own fine print. ODSP Directive 5.4, a specific policy for self-employment income. The thing is, this wasn't common knowledge at all. In fact, it was a rule many caseworkers either claimed didn't exist or actively told people not to use. And the power of that one hidden rule is just immense, because under that directive, an entrepreneur on ODSP can now earn up to $1,000 in net business income every single month without losing any of their support. That's a game changer. And that's the big takeaway, right? Deeply understanding policy isn't just about staying out of trouble. It becomes the literal foundation for your own empowerment, for smart financial planning, and for actually building wealth. Okay, so you've got the knowledge. How do you turn that into a real, actionable plan? Let's break down what's called the Sovereignty Blueprint, a practical system for building that financial freedom. A central piece of this strategy is the 5 bank account method. It's brilliant. All your business income goes into one account for operating expenses. From there, you pay yourself a regular wage into your personal account. Then you split the rest. Money goes into a tax account, another chunk goes into business savings for emergencies, and finally, you move funds into an investment account to grow your long-term wealth. This way, every single dollar has a job. Next up, you start thinking about insurance as a tool for empowerment. Instead of just taking what you're giving, you can strategically layer your coverage. You could pair ODSP with a private plan to cover pre-existing conditions. If you're a student, you can use those great student health plans while your earnings are exempt. Or you can make use of the new Canada Dental Care Plan. Just remember, you can't combine that one with private dental. It's all about knowing your options and mixing and matching. But the wealth building doesn't stop there. The blueprint uses specific financial tools that actually work with the system's rules. The Registered Disability Savings Plan, or RDSP, is huge. It's a powerful savings tool with government matching. You can also use things like TFSAs and RRSPs with specific products called segregated funds to build assets in a way that's actually exempt from ODSP's limits. So what's the end game here? What is the ultimate goal of mastering this entire blueprint? Well, it's about nothing less than completely transforming your financial reality. This whole journey really comes down to a massive mindset shift. It's about consciously moving away from that feeling of not enough that the system can really drill into you, and moving towards a place of control, of autonomy, of financial sovereignty. And that freedom, it has a number, a clear, concrete benchmark, growing the business to a gross income of $5,000 per month. That is the magic number, the point where you can afford your own top-tier private insurance and have enough in savings to become fully independent. And that Right there is the ultimate goal. This isn't about learning to just survive inside the system forever. It's about building a business and a financial foundation so strong that you can successfully graduate from it, leaving the system behind for good, and living life on your own terms. Ultimately, this entire story proves one thing: knowledge is power. Mastering the rules of whatever system you're in is always the first step toward rewriting your own future. So the question I want to leave you with is this: what fine print in your own life might just hold the blueprint to your freedom?
Okay, so because I'm having muscle spasms, so everything else is a muscle can spasm, and it's not fun. It's, and earlier this morning, there's a neurologist I follow, Dr. Aaron Boster in Columbus, Ohio, and he was talking about Botox for spasticity, and then you can inject Botox in the bladder, and so that it wouldn't contract the muscles too quickly. And I think I have that too, which means I have to go find my doctor and talk about options of potential Botox, which I don't want to, because I'm learning that the Botox injections while on Ontario Disability Support Program is not covered because of the peer group I was in. The lady needed Botox injections. They're quoted $400. They're also on ODSP. The reason they don't get it because her husband makes too much income. But I also know that ODSP can choose not to cover something just because they want to. I mean, they're the government. Yeah. So pretty much until I get the right dose of the tazanidine that I spent the whole week in the emergency room getting a prescription of, will determine how well and how effective it manages the muscle spasms, because it could help, which is what we want. And then I start round 2 of the Mavenclad, which is the disease modifying drug treatment for multiple sclerosis. And the hopes is that it will shock my system. Basically, it lower my immune system and makes me immune compromised, to have my system rebuild itself so I can go back in remission of symptoms, so they're quieter. They're not gone. And there's no cure. I feel like I'm talking to my parents in my head right now. There's no cure. It's not gone. We're just trying to manage the symptoms so they don't affect my daily life. Pretty much the same way we manage the bipolar disorder. I take an antipsychotic called quietapine since 2011. It mostly manages the cycling of the mood disorder, bipolar sort of hypomania, to depression, to everything in between, where we get a baseline so I can do the daily functions and act like a normal adult, that people think I'm fine, that I don't look like I have a disability. Yeah, like I'm just at a place now where people I talk to about me having a health condition, you don't have to believe me. I have to believe me, because if I don't believe me, who has the health condition that a doctor told me that I have, and I act like, oh, it's not a big deal and I don't take it seriously, I'm the one that suffers. Me telling you and then you ignore it, that's your problem. I'd really, like, same way with my parents, like going to the emergency room and they're asking, who's your emergency contact? Well, my mom was out of town, but for good reason, for work. I fully understand, because her working is helping me the way that she can. Fully understand. But my father, he has a weird way of processing the fact that I have a chronic health condition with no cure. And every time I go to the emergency room, it's only to figure out how to get the symptoms I'm having to stop. That is the purpose of going. That is literally the purpose of going. Like, they confirm I have the symptoms, they order the tests, they send the notes to my doctor, they do another MRI, they do blood work, maybe I get steroid injections, maybe I'm changing my medication completely. Then we figure out which insurance is going to cover it. If it's on a Ontario Disability Support Program and the drug formulary, there's also the same thing in the Trillium drug benefit. Or do I apply for Exceptional Access Program? Or magically in the budget, there's enough to pay for it. Like the tazanidine. It's not covered. It's $44 for 30 pills that I need more because I'm getting 5 milligram, but they come in 4. So it comes in 4 milligram, and the second pill of 4 milligram be cut in 4 pieces. So I take 1 whole of 4 plus 1/4 of the next 4 for 5. And I was told to take it twice a day. Twice a day doesn't work. I now have to take it 3 times a day. The pills I have, they need to last me until December 25th, where I am allowed, according to insurance and billing, to renew it for the pharmacy. But I learned from previous prescriptions, if I'm paying out of pocket and I need it earlier because I'm paying out of pocket, they'll give it to me. I already know that. Had this whole argument with my mom the other month, with the silobenzaprine. She's like, oh, you can't get it early. I go, I know I can because I'm paying for it. I've done it before. And somehow my family is like, oh, they can't. I don't take advice from nobody if I have experience. I'm just saying, like, I just don't. If I've experienced the thing and I know the answer of the thing and I tell you the thing, and then you come up with, oh, no, you can't do that. And I already told you can. It's because I've done it. And I've done it more than once. The only thing I didn't do is take pictures and do a video about doing the thing that I know I can do to manage my health because I'm the only one that takes care of me. Dishes in the sink over there, microwave needs cleaning, laundry needs done, it's me. Or I hire somebody to do it. Or magically family member comes over and they do it and they give me a lecture the entire time that they do it because I'm a burden. Like the way that they're saying you're not a burden, but they lecture you the whole time, you're a burden. If you weren't a burden, it wouldn't come with this extra lecture and grief. Like honestly, 2025, I had big goals at the beginning of the year. They changed in August. Luckily, things have turned around to the point where, okay, I'm on my own. No problem. I learned that when I was 9. I learned that when I was 9. I had a house full of people older than me and adults. I left the house. I went across the street to a friend's house for 4 to 5 hours. Nobody knew I was gone. When I came back, the only question they asked me at that time is, did I eat dinner? Nobody knew I was gone for 4 to 5 hours. How's it? Yeah. So part of my diagnosis, if you haven't picked up on it, is complex PTSD and anxiety, which comes from memories, events from my childhood, right up until I left home at 18 years old. I'm 41. I'm still dealing with them because the people who caused the trauma are still around. Yes, some of them have acknowledged what has happened and apologized, and we made, good on those things, and we're working through those things. But if you ever read the book, The Body Keeps Score, it's going to take a while for me, the body, the muscles, the memory to let it go. It's just what it is. I know this. Then when issues like this, me going to the emergency room, me being scared, I'm in the emergency room by myself, and then, I'm being asked who's my emergency contact, and I literally hesitate. When they ask me who's my emergency contact in the hospital, I literally get a panic attack. The instant they ask me that question. Like, I have numbers of family in my phone, but are they good people to be an emergency contact? And are they in town to be here, or are they out of town working? Because if they're out of town working and they're supposed to be my emergency contact when I'm in the hospital, who is making the decision? Those are the things that flash through my head when I'm asked in triage at the nurse's station in the emergency room, or who is your emergency contact? The only time that I felt good about having an emergency contact who would be there for me is when I had my tubal ligation surgery and I had a friend who was willing to pick me up after the operation in the hospital. But I spent 2 years planning that event. Now I have to look about hiring a professional executor who can be my power of care and power of attorney. And then as a substitute, I have my emergency contact people as family or friends that know me very well. Because 2 events in 2025 are going to the emergency room thinking, oh, I can call family. I learned I can't. Proceed with caution. Very, very caution. And I get it. If one of them is watching this video, they're going to be offended. But honestly, when you really pay attention to what's going on in this video, it has nothing to do with you. It's everything to do with me and how do I feel safe. And if for some reason their behavior has put it in a situation where I don't feel safe, you can't tell me that I'm safe when I don't feel safe. I have to tell me when I'm safe. That's how that works. That's how PTSD works. PTSD lets you know you're no longer safe. Then you have to convince yourself and your PTSD that you're safe to no longer act like you're not safe. Yeah, I totally get it. I know somebody's going to have a conversation with me and feel offended by this. But again, it's nothing to do with you, everything to do with me and everything I learned in 2025 about me and what I have to do now, 2026 and moving forward. It's a lot. And as I did not plan an outline for this episode today because I didn't know what I was going to talk about because too many things are going on. I'm still dealing with muscle spasms. I'm still dealing with new treatment of Mavenclad. I'm still dealing with how do I manage my multiple sclerosis moving forward. I don't know what that looks like. I don't know what that looks like. And of course, my family will be like, my mom would be like, oh, don't worry about it. But I have to worry about it because whenever you're out of town, I'm on my own. And then communicating by text messages only goes so far. Yeah. And if I think about it too much, I'll cry. So we're not going to do that. So, okay. I dove in without saying the disclaimer. And if you're finding value in these conversations and want to support the work we do here at Disabled Wealthy, right here on the Minnie Cam YouTube channel, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on bell notifications. It'll let you know when I'm on next, or it will hold the video in your notification so you can watch it later. Most of these videos I keep up. Most of them I keep up as long as possible. I'm saying that because I'm thinking maybe I take this video down once it's done being live, only because I didn't plan anything. I only planned the intro. And the intro, me reading the intro, it wasn't that great. Like, I'm trying to work with AI to plan my intro, and it's clearly broken. There's something wrong. Whatever update they did in ChatGPT and Google Gemini broke it. It did. Like, it did to the point I had to go to my older episode intro scripts to see if those ones still make sense to say. Like, the whole intro part where I go on about stats, how 1 in 6 people with a disability live in poverty. Poverty rates remain twice as high as those without disabilities. People with disabilities require an average of 30% more income to reach the poverty line. That is from Stat Canada, summary report done by Disability Without Poverty. Then we have here from Maytree. Maytree studies poverty. Like, they're a research agency that studies poverty. I forgot their whole mission and what they do. Maytree.com. Everyone has a right to live without poverty, to keep people out of poverty, to fix the system that creates it. We do, but nobody wants to. Because if we fix poverty, Maytree does not have a job. Just serious. Because their whole job, they study poverty. We need human rights-based approach to poverty. Human rights-based approach to poverty for people puts people first. It examines how our systems create the conditions that trap people in the lives where dignity is out of reach. It empowers each of us to call upon our governments to actively change, build the systems we need to protect our human rights. It measures progress by the impact our collective actions have on our people's daily lives. Here's the thing about poverty. It's not just the people, it's your beliefs. So like being on Ontario Disability Support Program, like I've talked about it in many of my presentations, where I am psychotic, about to be homeless. I finally get my application in for Ontario Disability Program, we're fighting multiple things. I'm in mediation with my landlord to make a payment plan to repay my rent to keep my apartment. And I'm barely getting $500 from Ontario Works, which is welfare. I'm in and out of treatment at CAMH, the Center for Addiction and Mental Health, getting a psychiatrist to diagnose me with either major depressive disorder, bipolar disorder, then figuring out what treatment, psychotic medication, or SSRIs are going to work. SSIRs, right? The antidepressants. I know those don't, there's a category of medications to treat bipolar disorder that don't work for me because they trigger hypomania for me. This is why we're antipsychotics, which has a different way of balancing the chemistry in my brain where it works. Going through that whole process of I'm diagnosed with bipolar disorder, I'm in and out of therapy. My family at the time wasn't that great. More like they're better now, but they weren't that great then. Like I was facing eviction and my family's idea saying me being evicted would be good for me living in a shelter. Now, if I bring it up to them now, they'll deny it. But the joke is, what they said to me is noted in documents that I've said to therapists. So the minute they said it to me, I go tell a therapist, the therapist writes it down. Hello. Or it's recorded on one of my live streams on my channel. And I usually talk about it the week, day, or moment it happens on social media. We know this because of other family members who get upset when I say something about them on social media. And the reason I say it because I don't want to carry that emotion anymore. I have to release it. I release it in my journal. I release it in my content. I release it as a messaging in my, because many people who have families have trouble with their families. I know this. We all do. We're all trying to just make it out alive. That's what we're trying to do. And the number of people with disabilities who have estrangements, difficulties with their families on social assistance is also high. And my bladder is kicking me again. I can't do this. Oh, this is not going to work. I can't even have the episode I want to have. Okay, let me try to wrap this up and then let's end it here because this is not the best episode. It's just I wanted to talk about registered disability savings plans, reporting income to Ontario Disability Support Program, how my presentation with Disability Without Poverty was my fourth presentation to a charity helping people walk through navigating Ontario Disability Program so they can reach a level of financial independence and peace and on a journey to becoming a millionaire, because $1 million net worth in your bank account is a math equation. And I know this because we just made a deposit in my registered disability savings plan so that the government will contribute to it $4,400 by the end of January. And the total amount is climbing closer to $125,000 faster than before because of the amount of work I've done in the last 6 years of putting my money I earned, money I receive, any cash I receive goes into my investments, regardless if I can make it to the end of the month. Yeah, but it's a choice I made out of the budget because the whole budget, like every budget video I do on my channel, every budget how I plan in my life, when I receive money, like there's an honorarium for Realize Canada in October, then another honorarium from presenting at Disability Without Poverty. Those funds did multiple things. Some paid credit card minimums, some paid groceries, some went into investments. But I was doing that every time I received money in the last 6 years. And then income I earn on my own supplements everything above what ODSP covers. So like I get $1,700 from ODSP. I'll do my budget video next week. Next Saturday, we'll do my budget video for January because we did one already for December. So because I'm also working on the 2026 budget Google Sheet document for all of 2026, where I'll be investing more in my tax-free savings account, first home savings account, paying off credit cards and building my 3 to 6 month emergency fund and a 3-month medical emergency fund, because we clearly need it because of what happened in 2025. And yes, it's Dave Ramsey baby steps. And no, it's not Dave Ramsey baby steps because of the fact that I have my registered disability savings plan and I'm self-employed. So that's what that video talked about, the 5 bank accounts. And I have to show you how I do it while I'm navigating Ontario Disability Program. Like December, you're supposed to report your income by the 7th of the month. Every month for the month income you earned last month. ODSP is cut off in December. It's earlier. So it triggered, and they're automated. Some stuff in the ODSP is automated, but their automation is not clear in communication. So they have an automating system to notify you when your file is suspended or you have to send in reports of some kind. So ODSP December 12th made a letter to say that I need to report my income, but it's in the system before December 7th because I did it on the weekend. I made sure because December 7th followed on Sunday. So Sunday, I'm logging into my benefits to report my income because it's due on the 7th of the month. And I didn't want the system to be like, oh, you have to report your income like it did in October. Then what happens is I have to make a letter to my caseworker in my benefits, letting them know, hey, I did report my income. Here are the receipts. Why are you sending me a letter that I had to report my income? Those things, administrative tasks that I have to do with Ontario Disability Program, dealing with multiple sclerosis, bipolar disorder, and all the things, I don't want to do it. Plus, there's nobody else who can do it because they don't understand it. Like if I had friend or family come in and help me manage all the things I need to do with ODSP, I have to teach it to you. Then I have to watch it to see if you do it correctly. And then when you do it wrong, I have to step in and do it. So this is the whole point of why I can't. Okay, that was the whole point of me trying to do this Saturday live stream. But I underestimated my multiple sclerosis symptoms. So you know what? I'm going to end it here. I will come back next Saturday and I will see you on the next